Hello gardeners, in this video I just wanted to give a huge thank you and some shout outs. I did pass 50 subscribers. Today in this video I just wanted to give you a quick update on my garden, as well as a huge shout out to to those in the community of YouTube and the gardening in the gardening area. I also, if you stay tuned to the end too, I just got a huge surprise as far as something that I found really helpful, and I'd love to just share it with you. I love to do kind of how-to videos. I really put in some content as far as research and things like that, to really help you out, because I understand everybody's time is so valuable, and I certainly don't want to waste your time for it. But this video, I just really wanted to give a just a little update on my garden, to actually show you my garden and see what it is, and kind of just give you a little bit about myself as well. So hopefully you can stick around to the end, and I'll show you some a little bit about my garden, and a little bit about me as well. But I just wanted to say that I'm so excited. I passed 50 subscribers, and in such a short amount of time that I've been doing this, that I'm just really excited that are here. So I just want to give you a huge thank you to anybody that subscribes to me. I really appreciate it. I understand your time is valuable, and I just want to help you guys out and give you whatever you guys need as far as help in the garden. Just a little bit about myself. I know you may have seen some of my videos, and I kind of go, my style is more of how to show you what to do and how to do something, and kind of get you what you need, the information if you're not sure about it, or give you some ideas, inspirations. Because even though there might be gardeners out there that have way more experience than I am, I certainly don't know everything. I know everybody that doesn't know everything about gardening, and I always seem to learn new things about it. So I really enjoy just anything with the garden. I grew up actually around my grandfather, who was a huge gardener from Italy, and he came over into New York, moved up to Massachusetts. But I remember my grandfather, he was a very avid gardener. He had these huge gardens that just had these big poles, and I remember these trellises coming off of it, and he would have so many tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever else that he could plant in the garden. And I remember going up to his house and just seeing on his kitchen counter, he would have jars and jars full of bananas and eggs, and just other vegetable scraps. And it's funny is that I look back at that now, and I said, wow, that he was really into compost and organic gardening before there was even such a thing. But that's just how you did it back then. You just put all those things in the garden. There was no videos or YouTubes or any kind of help, or this big push about organic things and things like that. That's just what you did. You just get in the garden and you put your scraps and things like that in there, and that's just how the soil is good for your soil. But I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I usually have a pretty script. I have something an outline for this, but today I really just wanted to just go out there, because I'm really excited about getting it. I really wanted to give a shout out to to some other gardeners out there. So what I'll do is I'll put in the description below, I'll put where these channels are located. So I really wish I could just off the top of my head, but I kind of just came out here just trying to get creative, and just coming out here and just giving you a little bit about myself. But one of them is definitely Janita Loving It. She is such a huge supporter in the gardening, and this lady, she's just got you can just tell she's got a very wonderful heart. So I do want to give a shout out to her on camera, but I will, like I said, I'm going to have some other channels that I really enjoyed watching. So if you can just look below, please support these channels, and help them out as well, and get out there and check out their channels and see what they have. I really just wanted to thank everybody for supporting me, and I really enjoy this community. But one of the things that I did want to mention about this that is a surprise for for me is just the community of other gardeners, and as well as other YouTube creative people out there that may have to do with gardening, like self-help kind of prepping and things like that, that do have some aspects of gardening in there. Is one thing that I was very surprised about, that I seem to really just really get a huge boost off, is this community, this community that is on YouTube, that is in this particular, in the gardening and things like that I've met and I've talked with, and I've just got out there and see some videos and things like that. The community itself is just wonderful. I've been very pleasantly surprised by that. I didn't expect that going into it. I'll be honest with you. I really got into this because I wanted to get out there, videos and things like that. I love doing kind of things creative and helping out people. But I didn't really expect to just get immersed in the actual community of this as well. I didn't think that was, it was a very pleasant experience. So I just wanted to really thank anybody that I've come into contact with for that as well. But I just wanted to give you a quick tour of my garden, just so you can see what I have to work with. And just so you know a little background about this particular garden that I have. So I moved into this house actually 1 year ago, I think next week. So when I moved in, it was July, middle of July. So obviously it's hot here in North Carolina, and I just didn't I didn't know in our house we had, where it's located, it's on a corner lot. So there really is, it's all shaded too. So if you grow vegetables, you know that shade is really not gonna grow a lot of vegetables for you. You need a lot of sun for the vegetables that you like cucumbers, tomatoes, and things like that. But you guys all know that. But so I was really concerned when I moved here, and obviously I'm moving in, so I'm just getting situated. I didn't really look to see where the sun was and what spots. But I just know my whole backyard is just it's a forest, and there's no sun whatsoever back there. So I didn't even think that I was gonna have a garden at all. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just plant some containers and things, and I'll just kind of figure it out as I go along next year. And it really just wasn't the biggest thing on my mind. But I as I was going through the year, I said, well, let me at least look and see what we have, and I'll try to see if I can see where the sun is and what spots get it. Well, I did find I also live in a very hilly area. The way my land is, it's on a slope. So that was kind of strike number 2 for me. So I did find this where I planted this garden. I did find a corner lot for it that does get at least 6 hours of sun. It's kind of a small area, but it's still a lot to work with. And as I've been here and I see where the sun is, and the time of year, because that's one of the things that you need to do when you're thinking about location of your garden, is obviously to figure out where it is. And if you don't have an open area, then your kind of challenges where you can be. But I basically just found this area, and then I was out. I had a couple buckets out here with just growing some lettuce, and I said to my daughter, I said, honey, I think I'm just gonna actually grow a garden here. I'm gonna just cut it open and just get in there and just start doing something. So I went out and I just tilled it up, and I literally put the garden in 1 weekend. I didn't really put any amendments in it, things that you do to build the soil. It's clay soil around here, so I wasn't expecting much in the garden. I really wasn't at all, because I know that it takes time to build the soil, and if you're coming with clay, it's a very difficult medium to get started with. And I didn't want to do a full raised bed. I actually wanted to build up the soil in there, plus to save a little money. So I did, I do compost with my worms, so I have always had that, so I was able to put some of that in, at least in my planting holes. But sorry if this seems a little too long. I really just wanted to give you guys some background about me and my garden. And you know, you can see the progress that I'm going to make, because I've already planned on, I do plan on actually expanding more in the area that I did find, now that I've been here for a year and I see where the sun is, you know, during the different times of the year. So I definitely am going to add more to it, and I actually will do a lot of container gardening as well, because I do you know, have the space for that, and I can put it in some other areas. But let me just show you what the garden is, and you can take a look and see for yourself what I have so far. So as you can see, where my house is, right over to the left part, that's actually my neighbor's yard. So kind of where the satellite dish is where my property line is, and as you can see, where the house is and where I have it, there's not a huge amount of space there. But you know, that's what it's all about, man. Is you just need to use what you got and make use of what you have for space and things like that. So I'm fortunate that I do have some kind of space over here that I can do something with it. So if you come down, and sorry if it's a little sunny, can't really see too well, but this right here is actually, well, these are some sunflowers I planted right here. They're just starting to bloom. Some of the rabbits actually got a hold of it early, so they are blooming a little late, but better late than never. They did recover from that. But this right here, this little patch, is my watermelon, my cantaloupe patch. So I got one watermelon right here growing so far. I think there's another one too, but I just I haven't moved it to see where it is. But, and I also think there is there's also a cantaloupe as well, or muskmelon if you call it that. That's also growing too. But actually, this part right here, I actually extended this out a little bit. It was actually right here, and then I kind of said, well, I'm going to go up the hill a little bit, you know, and kind of expand it. But that's the good thing about it, is that, you know, you start out when you first have a garden, you don't want to just you don't want to do too much, you know, getting to know where everything is. So, but I'm definitely going to expand a little bit more. I also might build. See over here. Sorry if my air conditioning is on, but so you can kind of see what I have to work with. You know, I have this space right here, and there's actually a gate here that I don't really use it, so I probably will put some containers like up here in this section, and I'm gonna probably mulch this whole area out, because it's really the grass here is okay, but you know, it'd be easier just to take care of if I mulch this whole thing out. So that's kind of what my plan is for the future for it. But just to kind of show you what I have here, what's growing. So I do have a couple boxes that I like to plant some lettuce in, although they're already starting to bolt right now. They're going to seed for the romaine, but this romaine actually lasted pretty long. I was cutting it for quite some time in the heat. And in North Carolina, it's extremely hot out this time of year. But you can see I do have some cucumbers that are almost ready to pick. I'll probably take a look at them, might pick a few in here. So I think they're almost ready. You can see there's our little friend right here that we all love in the garden. Yeah, he's getting his little daily fill. So this area is actually pretty good, because it gets sun. It starts, I think, around 11:30 most of the time during the summer. So it does get the sun, and then I think it gets about 5 or 6 hours of sun. So it at least gets 5.5 to 6 hours. So which you know, as you know, is plenty. But then I had some hornworms destroy one of my tomatoes over here. Be honest, my tomatoes this year are just they're not as great because of the soil. But next year I expect them to be much better. But I do have down here, I get another, I think I got another melon down here. And then just planted this yellow squash over here, a little crookneck squash. So that's starting to come on. I gotta fertilize that. But then down there, as I got this plant right here is these are habanero peppers, I believe. Yeah, those are my habanero peppers. And then, you know, my tomatoes are over there. That one right there is just not really doing so well. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like when you first get a garden, you know, and I don't know if any of you are new to gardening, but, you know, you just have to be patient. You know, you have to understand that, you know, if you look at other people's gardens and they got these huge bounties of vegetables, you know, it's probably because they have the proper soil and things like that. So when you're first, you know, establishing your garden, you know, it does take time to build up the soil in there. So there's lots of things that you can do in the meantime to build up your soil. So next year, what I'll do is I'm going to plant some fall crops as well, because in North Carolina you can take advantage of how, you know, hot it is outside during this time of year. But as far as you know, what I'm going to do to plan for next year is I'm definitely gonna there's going to be some more compost put into this garden. I do have, you know, I do vermicompost as well, so I'll be putting a lot of amendments in here as far as maybe some leaves and things like that, just to build up the soil. So next year when I do plant the garden, and I also know where the sun is too, because that obviously that helps too. But I will take into mind, I do keep notes of everything, and that's another important thing that you can do in your garden, is to make sure you take notes of what you planted and where you planted it, and you know, what worked and what didn't work. Because one of the things about gardening is, you know, it's quite an experience that you learn, and you learn each year what works and what doesn't work, and then you implement that in there. So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, like I said, this is sorry if it seems so long. I just wanted to give you guys just a little update on my garden and show you what I have, you know, so far, and kind of what my plans are. But really, I just wanted to say thank you again for, you know, for sticking with me and subscribing to my channel. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.